Yeah, good morning to one and all. So, today we are going to start a new lecture series, video lecture series on Java programming. So, many people are, as I have seen, are struggling from writing the programming as they don't have the very basic foundation of programming. So, I thought I will be guiding you to do your programming perfectly and crack the placements. So now it happened like whenever I have asked any students to write any program, they'll start like this. They'll start like class with a name, let us say sample, then they'll write like this. They'll write like public static void main string arguments. So they'll start like this and they'll start writing the program. Now if it happens like if anybody asks you like why you have written this statement, then there is a bit confusion. So is it due to the way as it is started, like you have to write like this, or since in many programmings when you explore everywhere you see this statement, that's why you have written, though you have written in the first way or in the second way, without having clarity on why we are writing this will take you nowhere. So once you write some 20 lines of code, then you will get stuck if at all you don't know why you are writing the code line by line. So in every statement there is some meaning in it, so you have to understand that meaning, why we are writing each word, each line, then you will understand properly and you are pushed towards a confident state where you can answer any question asked in the interview. Right now this statement is, as told, is been very common in Java programming. So whether you see some sort of textbooks content or you see some online content, wherever you go, you see this statement as a mandatory statement or command. So it is our duty to know why we are writing like this and what all other options are available, are involved or related to this statement. So let's break this statement into parts and we'll try to understand what is this. So let us first take this. Now generally you know that public is a access specifier. The point number one is it is an access specifier, or we can say modifier. Right, this is the point to be noted. The second point is, so now when you write or mention any method as public, it can be accessed from anywhere in the program. So the point number two, you have to understand that it can be any method, okay, mention as public can be accessible anywhere in the program. So this is a point to be noted. Right, so now one student asked me like this, like why should we write only public every time? Are there any alternatives for this? Yes, we do have some alternatives for this. The first alternative is called as private. Though it seems like the exact opposite word of public in the general English communication, it is not an exact, but do have some different perspective, different side type of focus. Right, So now private, if we mention any method as private, okay, so this happens. What happens is it is accessible, okay, within the same class. So this is the point to be noted. It is accessible within the same class. All right. And when we are using private keyword before any method, then it happens like it hides the implementation details, and in one way or the other way it will promote the oops concept called as encapsulation. This is a point to be noted. This is very important point to be noted. So the total programming is all about how we are implementing the oops concepts here. So if we are mentioning any method as private, in some way or the other way we can say that it is promoting the oops concept called as encapsulation, right? So now we'll write like this. We'll write like private is a keyword, right? Now the third one is default. Default is a keyword. Now the scope of this keyword default, it's not a keyword if at all you are not mentioning any access specifier. Either you are not mentioning a public, or you are not mentioning any private or anything like that, then it is by default set to be default, right? And it is used within the package, within the same package, right? This is the point to be noted. This is the specialty of not mentioning any access specifier, right? Then it is said to be having package private access. It is also having some type of access called as package private access. This is the third one you have to understand. The first one is called as public, the second one is called as private, the third one is called as default, and we do have the last one called as protected. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? So when we are mentioning any method as protected, then the scope of that method will be within the same package, and can only a subclass in any package can use it. Okay, scope can be in same package or a subclass in any package can use this, and we can say that in some way or the other way we are implementing inheritance based access. That means here we are implementing another oops concept called as inheritance. As I have earlier discussed, here we are implementing encapsulation when we are using private keyword, and here we are using inheritance keyword, right? So this is all about the first word called as public access specifier. And something more about public, why? Because in majority of the cases we'll be using public. In majority means 90% of the cases we will be using only public in main method. At least private, default and protected are used only on requirement. So there is something to learn more on public. So this here, as I told you that if at all you are mentioning any method as public, then it can be accessed anywhere in the program. Point number one. Point number two is this is used for implementing APIs. Implementing APIs. This is the first point you have to understand about private. Right, the second one is can be used in shared classes and shared methods. Okay, this is a point to be noted. So this is all about the first keyword called as public. If you want to write it as public, or you can write either private or default or protected based upon the requirement, right? So this is all about private. First access specifier called as public. Now what we'll do is we'll go into the next word written here called as static, right? Now what is static? Now when I was in the discussion with the students and I have asked them what is the need of writing static here, means they have straight away given the differentiation, like it is static, it is dynamic, like different things are there in their mind. So that is not the exact, maybe not the desired answer what I have expected. Here there is something specialty about writing static method in this first line, static word in this first line, right? Now the point is like in a Java we have classes, we have objects, and we have methods, right? So now when we want to call a method, if we are creating an object, that is one way, right? We have a method and that method is executing some code, and for using that code written in that method we need to use some object and we have to create that using class. Let me illustrate here. We have a method here with some name. I am just giving the pseudocode type of thing, and in that I have some code here. Now what I will do is I will use a object obj dot method 1. This is the general process. Now this is a method we have created, and this method defines this code, and now if at all I want to use this code, then I will be using an object. Using that object I will be calling this method. Then this is the general process that happens here. This is the general sense you have to keep in mind while writing the coding also. But here what we are trying to tell, we are trying to tell that main is the method, but main does not have any code. Main is just a method which does not have any code, right? So now when we are mentioning main here and when we are calling it as static, it means that we are calling a method, okay, called as main without creating an object. Now this makes the definition of a word static. Now in case if you are calling a method without creating an object, then that method is called as static method. This is a point you have to understand, right? So all static methods can be called. So based upon this we can come to a conclusion that all static methods can be called without creating an object. This is the point number 1, you understand. This is one side. The second side is if it is a static method we are handling, then a static method can access only static variable or call static methods. This is the point to be noted. Okay, so these are the benefits and goods and bads of static. So static has some advantages, like without creating an object it can be called or it can be used in the program, but a static method can access only other static variables or other static methods. So this is the point to be noted, right? Now what about non-static? If at all we have static, then we do have some alternatives for static keyword in the form of non-static. So let us understand this non-static. Now it's turn to talk about non-static. So as you told that what is static, then we have to understand what is non-static. It belongs to objects, belongs to objects. Okay, now this is a point. Now in case you wanted to call a non-static method, you need to create an object. So for calling a non-static method, we need an object. Okay, now a non-static method, the third point is like this: a non-static method can access both static and non-static members. Members means it may be a variable, it may be a method. Okay, this is the thing about the static and non-static, and understand why we are writing static here, right? Now coming to the third point, third word called as void. Why we are writing void here? And people often get confused that what is this. So we'll talk about this now. Void. Now understand this. In my learning days also, people used to say that it is the return type of the method. It is the return type of the method, right? Actually what it is, it should not, or it does not return any value. It does not return any value. Okay, this is a point to be noted. So here main is a method which will not return any value, which is not expected to return any value. Main is the method which is not expected return any value. So it has been named as void, hence it is named as void. After telling like this, people still have some confusion. Void is again a confused topic here, so let us understand with an example here. Okay, a simple example. I am not going to write the total thing here. I'll write like this. I'll take a new notepad for this. Public class cal. Okay, Now see here. Now here the next statement is I am taking like this, void add int a comma int b. I am taking here two parameters and I want to do some addition type of thing. I have kept a name class name as addition or calculation, right? Then into sum is equal to a plus b, right? Then system dot out dot println sum. This is the method I have defined here. This is the method I have defined. This is the void. This is the method I have defined, and this method has two parameters, int a and int b. So now this is how I have defined the method. Now what I'll do is public static void main. I'll write two programs, one with void and one without void, and it will tell you how this actually differentiates. Okay, public static void main calculation calc is equal to new calculation. Now see here, this is a small program. Now what I have did here is I have taken a method here, right? And in this method I am taking two parameters. I am passing here here the two parameters, and here this is object created, and using this object I am calling this method. So this is named as void. So what is the purpose of void here? Okay, this is the first thing you have to understand. Now void add, I'll explain this. Void add, I'll explain this. What is this, the meaning of this? Void add means that this method performs addition. This method performs addition, okay, and print the result, okay. But understand this, but does not give any result back, right? So this is the point to be noted. Just to print here. So what is sum here? Sum will be printed here, right? Now what I'll do is I'll write one more program. You try to understand what it is, and you will understand how this can be done. Now again I'll copy. I'll make some small changes here. Now see here I'll write int, okay, int a. I'll do like this. Instead of writing total program again, I'll write like this. I can write like this, int add int a comma int b. Okay, then I can write int result is equal to calc dot add 10 comma 20. So if you are getting confusion, I'll write full program like this. Now I'll copy this in order to save time. Copy, paste here. Now see here. Now here I'll make some changes. Here I'll write int, okay. Then instead of writing all this, what I will do is I will write return a plus b, right? Then here int result, okay. So now you observe the changes here. You observe this is a program with void. That means we are just printing it is all about performing addition and print the result which is already stored inside. Okay, now this is somewhat looking different. Here the major change is this line and this line, right? So the difference is like this. You just understand here. This is the program we write in the case of usage of void, and this is the program you can write if you don't want to use void, right? So this is how you have to understand that void will return nothing, and int or alternative of void can return anything. That depends upon the operation that we are going to perform, right? Now see here, one more thing is like void will print the message, print something in the form of message, and int will give you the numerical value. And one more thing about this topic is, if you are declaring any method as void methods will print the messages and int methods will return numerical values. Okay, this is point number 1. Point number 2 is I am making changes here itself. So void methods will print messages if we write print statements inside them, and int methods will return numerical values which we can print outside the method. So this is all about void and not non-void methods. Okay, so this is how you have to understand. And the next topic, the next word that we are going to discuss is main. Now we will understand about main. Please understand that since this is a very basic explanation of the program and many things are involved in this, the video length may be longer than expected, so please be patient. So now what is the fourth word here? The fourth word is main here, and it is said to be the name of the method. Simple name of the method. Name of the method. This is the point number 1. And often where we write main, that is said to be the starting position, starting point. Main is said to be the starting point of the program. Okay, this is the next point. The next point is main should be all lowercase. all lowercase, right? And to be kept in mind that we have only one main method in total program. Okay, so in very rarest cases, 1% cases, we'll have more than one mains, but in majority cases we'll have only one main method throughout the program. So this is all about simple explanation of main, and we are coming to the last part of this line called as string arguments. String arguments. So try to understand that there are many methods of writing this word combination. The first word is this one, string arguments. We can write like this. The second word is, some people write like a string, some people keep like this, string args. Okay, this is second method of writing the code. The third method is, people have started writing like this. Okay, variable args. Variable, the first three letters of the word stands for variable. The second part is called as arguments, variable argument. This is some people writing like this, and I have seen some people writing in some cases it is also valid, string input. Okay, this is also valid. This is the point you noted, a new point here. Till now I don't know how many of you know this is also valid. Okay, so you can make changes to these parts. Arguments are variable arguments or input, but this is must. Okay, so on a whole we can say that these are must for writing any Java program. This varies. You can do experiments only with this part. Okay, string input is also valid as said. Okay, now a quick briefing on this and we'll close this. String arguments means that it is an array of strings, right? This is the point number one to be noted. The purpose of using this is it is used to accept command line arguments. This is one more important part of program arguments when running a program. We'll see all about this in coming days, so try to understand that this is the meaning here. Use it to accept command and arguments. Command argument, this is important again, we'll talk about this. Use it to accept command and arguments when running a program. So this is the point to be noted here. So keeping this command and arguments, I'll give you a small 2 minutes explanation on this. So generally when you write any program, that is like this. First thing is you save it with a name. Then the second thing is you will go with javac file name .java, and then if you have no errors in that, you can go for this Java file name. Now this is for a general program. Okay, now if at all you want to have if at all you want to have the implementation of command and arguments, there is some added process. First you save it, then you go with javac file name dot java, then java file name, then I'll write like this, hello Navin. Okay, in this what happens is hello will be indicated by arguments at index position 0. Okay, and Navin will be indicated by arguments at index position 1, and it continues. So this is a small difference you have to understand. So this is all about the class today, and what I want to is I wanted to demonstrate a simple program, and we'll close the class. So for that what I'll do is I'll close all this, or else I'll take a new board and I start writing the program like this. So for that, first thing I think what I'll do is I'll open this. So I'll save this all programs list on desktop, okay, with a folder created specially for this Java programs. Okay, and here I have to give the name. So here first double quotes, then name, hello world.java. Okay, if it is very what we can say small, then I'll go with magnifier for your convenience. Now see here, I'll save like this. Now this is the way to save the programs. Now see here, just okay, in desktop, on desktop I created a folder Java programs, then I'm saving like this. First double quotes, first is double quotes, then program name, then followed by a dot, then extension for specifying which type of file it is. Since we are doing Java program, all the Java files will be with an extension .java. Then we have opened here, we are closing here, then all files, then save. All files option is used only to know whether we do have any other file with the same name, not to have this problem of overriding, right, or replacement, right, or to avoid duplicates, right. I'm just saving this. Now I'll close this. Now see here, now I have done this. Now I'll start writing a program, a small program like this. Public class, instead of taking this, we do not take this. No issues. Public class hello world. Now see here, now one more time I'll take magnifier to make you understand that there is something to be understood here. Now see here, this is the name of a file and this is the name of a class. Many people will say that these two should be same, right? Now what I will do, for the first time I will follow that principle and see that program will get executed, and then what I will do is I will keep this name as hello world and I'll change this, and let us understand if that really have any problem of applying two different names, here one and here one. Okay, we'll see. Now what I will do is public static void main string arguments, then println. Somebody write print and somebody write println. There is no much difference and there is no much to explain about this. Print will print the content whatever you are writing here after on the same line, and println will go search for a new line. Okay. Great. Now this is my full name, so I have written that. So now this is the program. Now once we complete this, what we'll do is we'll go with execution. So now see here in notepad, if this dot is visible then it is unsaved, so we have to save it, and you observe the change here. Saved means then I have pressed Ctrl S, it is saved, and now dot has gone, right? Now come here, now see here. Now if at all you want to execute this, now you have to be on desktop Java programs, that path is to be set, and now where we are at SNK, S Navin Kumar. Now cd desktop, cd Java programs, then Java C, now see here there are some errors here. Now we'll see here in the part of explanation what I did is like I have not completed this. Okay, right. Now we'll get output once again. Now we do not have any errors. Okay, right. Then Java hello world. Okay, it will print the message hello Navinachari, right? Now what I will do is, as I have told you, I will change this, right? Now it is hello world. Now just I'll write hello here, and let's see what happens. I've saved this. Now I'm executing Java C hello world dot Java now we are getting same. Maybe we might have not finding any difference because the content that we are printing is same. So what I'll do is I'll change the name as hello Navin. Okay, just save it, come here, no change. No change in the output. So there is something to be discussed about this. We'll talk about this, right? We'll talk about this in the coming classes. Now this is about the introduction of Java programming. So the change here, the name, class name and the file name in this case has proved that need not to be same, but we'll follow both alternately randomly to check whether the rule is must. Okay, right. So this is all about today's class. So now if we have changed this, wait just a minute, we'll do it, something we will do it. Hello world.java. Java C hello. Yes, the same is printed here. So we'll talk about this discussion in the coming classes, right? Thank you.